it's a matter of importance to me that you be lucid and aware of what you're able to be. Since I was able to see the lack of limits, I've been infinite, and this is indiscriminate. This isn't narcissistic. Arson isn't always meant to be destructive, it's an art form. This is my attempt to start the fire that makes you art more, and logic less, cause logic, since the dollar has been off of it, I'm offering a sentence that could bring you back to sanity. Empathic but emphatically, I plan to see you mastering the art of your existence so that everyone can benefit. Then on and fractally it blossoms into everything, and mindfully we intervene, i.e. create reality. I used to hate this word, but now I know its definition, and I've learned to trust my family. I see all 7 billion, so I deem it time to DMT you all with my opinion, and I pray to my creators that just one of you will listen, cause the light and divine truth was always inside you. I'm here to remind you that you are not what confines you. You traveled through time to arrive at this line, and now you are in a vessel designed to invent and define truth. Illusion divides you, but you are the limitless vine through which everything vibes through, and I'm here to remind you that you are the light and divine truth. It's always inside you. I'm here to remind you that you are not what confines you. You traveled through time to arrive at this line, and now you are in a vessel designed to invent and define truth. Illusion divides you, but you are the limitless vine through which everything vibes through, and I'm here to remind you that you are. I am the Illuminati of my own reality. I am not afraid of those who benefit from apathy. I am not a slave to any entity or anything. My mission as a cell is reconnecting us with everything. Inevitably, everything is bound to evolve, cause that's the nature of the fractal that we're also involved with, revolving around a nucleus that nuclearly powers us. But I've comprised the theory to suggest we really power it. Power is the act of understanding what you're standing on. This is not the planet I was born from. Though the mastodon is part of me, I'm partially a particle lost. Time and space, but I'll remember when they're blasting me off. And I am everything. Free from the pendulum I may never be, but I control my darkness just enough to make a friend of it. Addendumless, my Bible is remembering the ultimate. Then every channeled verse is holy text because we come from it. And every son and daughter is my bleeding hearted counterpart. So I will find the others and remind them that we have a heart. You're part of God whenever you remember, and I'm sure now endeavoring forever on the quest of showing more how the light and divine truth was always inside you. I'm here to remind you that you are not what confines you. You traveled through time to arrive at this line, and now you are in a vessel designed to invent and define truth. Illusion divides you, but you are the limitless vine through which everything vibes through. I need only remind you that you are the light and divine truth. It's always inside you. I'm here to remind you that you are not what confines you. You traveled through time to arrive at this line, and now you are in a vessel designed to invent and define truth. Illusion divides you, but you are the limitless vine through which everything vibes through, and I'm here to remind you that you are God. I'm here to remind you that you are the light and divine truth. It's always inside you, and I'm here to remind you that you are not what confines you. You traveled through time to arrive at this line, and now you are in a vessel designed to invent and define truth. I need only remind you that you are God. I'm here to remind you that you are God. I'm only here to remind you that you are...
And stuffs. And now we're on the air.
Word.
Like, right.
Yo. Is that where introductions happen? Yo, this is Zach in One Army, otherwise known as Zachary Winchester, your magical turtle, the dude who says the things with the mouth and stuff, and let's do some more sorcery hood rat shit. We're talking about psychedelic drugs. I'm here with my co-host, Vasto.
It is I, yes.
It is indeed. Vasto was not here last week, and we had a big, thorough, in-depth conversation about the entheogenic substances and what they do for your brain and stuff, and you weren't present, and I feel like the combo was lacking because of that. Mr. Vlad.
Yes.
Do you want to go in the woods and do some mushrooms?
Well, I have been to the woods. I need to tell you about what I did like 3 days ago. I was in Bucharest and we went to the woods. they have some artificial woods there, like parks with trees planted by the socialist regime. So there was a friend of mine who organized a reggae party in the park, and they let him create that event, of course, with the proper sponsorship and all that shit. He organizes events for like 3 years, so he has experience. But they told him that he needs to respect certain things. So one of these things was to, make a perimeter around the event, like fences and shit, which is kind of against the reggae feeling. There were fences. There shouldn't have been fences. There should have been only open air. Also, there was a lot of beer being sold there, overpriced beer. And when you went there, there were like sales girls in suits, So it was very, very, very weird, because you don't sell beer at a reggae event, because everyone fucking smokes. And that is what we did, and we smoked a bunch of good shit. And then we left, because it was boring. You felt like you were in some sort of, utopic cage of the future. And there were also some bodyguard police people there, making sure that the event is safe. And they didn't let you go out temporarily. If you went out of the cage, you were out of the cage. You weren't allowed to go back in. So that was very, very, very weird. Reggae event turned into shit.
Well, I experience little hypocrite functions like that all the time, where it's supposed to be the vibe of consciousness. Actually, I hate to name drop, but we're at a level right now where it doesn't matter, and they're at a level too. I did a festival called Stereo Terra where I was emceeing, and it was their first year, and so it's called Stereo Terra, so Music Earth. Terra meaning Earth.
Yes.
And the cover for it was a picture of tree and this is seeming to be selling itself as a very earthy event. But anyway, the place where the festival was being held, there were too many trees. There were too many trees, and there was not a good enough open space to have the stage and the festival. So they deforested this whole fucking area to have a Stereo Earth.
Whoa, that was total against Gaia, man. Total against the trees and the nature hippies.
It's great. There's you can clearly see the trees stumps where they were just very recently chainsawed, and it's like, everybody Earth. And but that's the thing with a lot of the festival culture here in America. It's complete. Hypocrites is a perfect word. That's a stupid little pun, but there's no better way of saying it. Is people are like, oh, Mother Gaia and the Earth's vibrations. It's just it's so far from. I mean, really, it's for most of the festivals that I go to, I see a lot of kids with their brightly colored tie-dye uniforms of the hippie and their seashell necklaces and hemp and shit, and they're just fucking they're for the drugs, clearly. And there's really I've tried to have socio-political conversations with folks who wore the uniform of the hippie, and they have no frame of reference, and just meanwhile smoking factory cigarettes and driving large trucks and selling fake drugs. There's so much just seedy drug behavior at festival. I'm not dissing on drugs, but those who show up, either selling fake things or just banking off of nitrous balloons and things, and just really just drug profiteering at these festivals where peace and love and everything, but it's fucking some of the seediest behavior I've ever seen has taken place within the circles of those who wore the uniforms and flew the flag of, one with everything, peace and love. I'm going to fuck you over.
Psychopathic manipulation is what I call that.
It's classy, though. I love hypocrisy.
We should take the drugs with us, That is what I do when I go to events like this, because I do not trust the ones who are dwelling on the spot, because obviously they want to make profit, so they don't necessarily sell the best shit. So you just take it with you. And if you want, you can share with some friends, close friends, and that's about it, Also, it could be very, I don't see myself going to an event and saying, "Hey, dude, do you have some weed where I could buy?"
Drugs, kid.
Yeah.
Drugs, kid. I got some really nice heroin drugs, kid. Want some of these acid drugs? I got these acid drugs, kid.
And the acid's usually fake and or just a piece of paper. Sometimes that happens. And I heard a really great story of this one of those dudes. That one of the terms is wooks, is the term for like festival going hippie folk who are just very unhygienic and very and usually it's used to describe someone who is also stupid and doing it for the trend. But I would describe this as a wook type individual. This is a secondhand story, but it was from someone who was a part of this, that they caught this guy selling pieces of paper. And then they, I think it was just shitty acid, like research chemicals. Just, the DOB is usually passed off as LSD. And there's several other like brain dissolving shitty things you don't want in your brain that are sold as acid all the time. And nobody's any of the wiser, If you'll have a psychedelic-esque thing happen to you, and that most kids aren't critical of the drugs they're buying. They just want to have fun at festivals. But anyway, so this guy was selling a bunch of bunk shit, and then they caught up with him and they found out who he was, and I guess like a couple of deadheads with like 35 hits of real shit puddled him, which is when you put a visible amount of liquid LSD on someone's tongue, beat the shit out of him, tied him to a tree, and left him there in the woods. And it's always just very funny to me to hear about hippies committing atrocious acts of violence.
There are a lot of people who just, because they do not feel appreciated by the ones around them, they retreat in subcultures, and without necessarily studying what that subculture is about, they start dressing like that subculture likes to dress without knowing why it dresses like that. And then they do weird shit, that does not necessarily, go with the flow of that society.
Yeah. Well, I've noticed that I just encounter a lot of folks who I can't really archetype or generalize this type of human, but there's seem to be just a whole lot of folk who just aren't really concerned about any consequences, and you're really just trying to enjoy each moment as it's coming, which in a way is kind of zenful and one with everything to be like that. Like, a leopard will drag its prey up into the tree and just rip it apart as it's screaming, and it never feels like, am I being a dick? Is this really worth my nourishing myself? Like, there's predators who do like when hawks eat, when they kill a mouse. Mice are adorable. Their head is their body. They're the most adorable little plush animal running around a field. Here comes a hawk, picks it up with the talons, drives its fucking nails into its guts, takes it up to a light post. I saw one at a light post, and as I was enjoying a Slurpee, this is back when I drank Slurpees, and I watched as this hawk just tore into the guts of this creature and just ripped it to shreds as it screamed. And that hawk did not feel like an asshole, And we as humans are constantly, some of us are constantly aware of our moral decisions and how we're affecting other people. But I meet a lot of people who really aren't, thus things like theft and rape. There's folk who do things like that. And do it somewhat guiltlessly.
Yes, maybe their morality system is somewhat different to what you may call the normal human. It's
and with the drugs,
and they think it's a good thing.
I think that psychedelics and ethics, they're kind of linked. Like, I started doing mushrooms when I was I was probably like 15 the first time I did mushrooms, and it was just a recreational. I had no concept of like, the mushroom will speak to me and it will tell me the mysteries of the multiverse and my interconnectivity with
The endless, ever-complexifying everything will greatly enhance from my use of this shamanic, ritualistic... No, I was just like, I want to do mushrooms and fucking see what kind of weird stuff I'll see, and we'll have all sorts of fun and be crazy, and you know... and I did that, and it's still... It just, you always kind of encounter yourself, and you always, I think, no matter what your intentions are, with something like mushrooms, always. With mushrooms, it's just inescapable that you're going to have some fucking profound moments of, and whether that translates into your life and you transcend as a conscious being, you know, might be case to case. But I don't think that anybody does mushrooms and doesn't have like a whoa. Okay. And I think, and that always comes down to, like, I feel like every time, like, you know, there are a lot of folks in my life who, just based on their programming, would prefer me not to do psychedelics ever again, or any drug for that matter. But, who I'm sure dabbled at some point. But like those like, you know, profoundly wise and knowledgeable and you know, in important standing folk, like Barack Obama, you know, who the fuck doesn't want to dose Barack Obama?
Well, I don't know him very well. He could just be sane, be controlled by other powers that lurk behind him.
Oh, I'm sure of that. I know he's not making volitional decisions as to how he governs. It's very clear. It's very clear. He came in there with he started his rise to power with a lot of ideals, and he wanted to do good things. I really do believe that about the guy. I don't think that he has sinister agendas that he created himself. I think that the Monsanto thing and him being one of the worst like warmongering presidents of the last couple of decades is not his choosing. It's the situation he was thrust into, and there's always, you know, the back of mind awareness of, you better do your job, Barry, because if you don't, you like your family, you like being alive, you like, you know, I think that there is a, Bill Hicks said that, you know, when the president is elected, that they're taken into a smoky room where they're then shown a video of a different angle of the JFK assassination. It's like, any questions? I think that there is a thing like that. I think you're let in on a lot of knowledge. Jesus Christ. I just stumbled upon a terrifying picture of a strange newborn baby in Egypt that is in fact unbelievable as it's titled. Jesus Christ, is that a human? My God. Well, and that there's a metaphor for Barack Obama. Sometimes I see him speaking and I'm like, Jesus Christ, is that a human? Is that the human that I supported not too long ago? It's like, fucking, he has gotten so... He made a speech the other day about the drones and drone strikes in Pakistan and all the civilian
drones are good. We must support the drones, blah, blah, blah.
No, it was freedom. Like, it was more chilling than that even. It was like saying he was speaking so sane about something so insane. He was like, you know, in all of warfare, there is always collateral damage and civilian casualties, and the children killed by these drones, you know, those numbers will haunt us and the people in my administration forever. You know, we will never forget, and we will always be haunted by those casualties. But it's like, but you're still gonna do it, bro. What the fuck? Like, it's like if I believed that, you know, when they say, like, every time you jerk off, a kitten dies. Like, if I actually believed that and acknowledged it in a public speech that I'm killing kittens, but kept doing it, doesn't that make me an asshole? Doesn't matter how much it haunts my nightmares. Stop killing fucking kittens. I'll never stop jerking off. But I think he can stop, or at least scale back the amount of... They do the double tap thing. Sometimes I do the double tap thing when I jerk off, and that I feel terrible the rest of the day.
Yes.
But,
the mind of the psychopath does not necessarily care for its deeds as long as he reaches his, you know, destination and completes his plot, his plan, his agenda. Mortus in the chat room says that drones killed yesterday 100 of civilians.
yesterday.
Yes, yesterday. I'm not sure where.
Probably while I was probably jerking off. I mean, it's fucked up when I fear traveling sometimes because I think that I'll be in a foreign country and I'll be recognized as an American, and they'll assume that there is any iota of my being that supports what my government does, and that is not the case. And I've gone through great pains to make sure that I'm not giving to give as little money as I can to my government as possible. I try to avoid jobs where I get checks and then have to pay income tax. I'd work under the table. I mean, I have to fucking drive a car because I live in Detroit or around Detroit.
No income tax. The income tax is illegal in your country, or something.
Yeah, I've heard of this, but that is a case rarely made.
If you talk that on the street, you will get very, very, attacked by the people. Because I have someone in Skype who doesn't want to talk with me because his roommates make fun of his opinions, for talking stuff like this with me. So I don't know if that's the case where you live. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
And then looking at this photo of this
Very good.
Turkish girl who's spreading her arms for the high-pressured water hose thing.
Yes, there are a lot of interesting pictures from Turkey.
It's so amazing that in America, it's really, really funny. It's like you have to go on the internet to find any information.
The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised, but it will be tweeted and Facebook.
In other countries, they can't evade it. They can't avoid. Like, if you're in a European nation right now, you're hearing about Turkey to some degree. Even if you're in one of the more clamped down on, like, if you're in the UK right now, you're hearing the NPR talks about Turkey. NPR talked about the Arab Spring. In America, we do not hear about anything that may give us the wrong idea on major news networks. Maybe they'll talk about it for a second, and they'll paint it as inconsequential and just something silly that you don't have to worry about.
Yes. Hi, Connor. You want to be on the radio?
Hello, can you hear me?
Shit, your quality is so bad today.
Just as a person, no, but yeah, it definitely sounds like a Tom Waits song.
You have an aspirator sound attached to you, my brother.
Aspirator.
Spiratorium.
Conspiratorium.
No, this guy is closer to Greece, and Greece is closer to Turkey, so, yeah.
Oh, hello there!
The revolution.
Oh, wait, did you mute your mic? Hello?
He's gonna go get his mic.
Okay.
He's too cool to not have a mic.
In the meantime, you know what I wish we could do, man? I know that my children will probably be able to do if I have children, but anyway, pretty soon we'll be able to do this, but now it'd be risky. I want to be able to, just make a Facebook event that says, everybody gather in this woods, come bring psychedelics. Here's the psychedelics that we prefer you do.
Yes.
Here's the things that we don't want you to do because they're dirty and we love you and don't want you putting that in your brain. And because, we all want to be on the same vibrato to some degree. And just have just mass psychedelic rituals. I'm just there was a whole time, I don't know, I go back and forth with whether I want to publicly espouse the use of psychedelics, but really it comes with mushrooms, I cannot see anything wrong with the use of mushrooms. I haven't really came across any scientific evidence of it having any long-term effects as far as your physical or mental health. There's just nothing. You should probably do psychedelic mushrooms. You should probably seek psilocybin in your brain, bi-monthly. Or I won't tell you what your regimen is. My regimen is 2-3 times a year because it's such an existential mind fuck most of the time. But yeah.
Yes, bring the generators, bring the music. That's what we did. We made an event via
or the silence.
Phones, and we got some generators and some speakers and some drink drugs and some wood, and we made the fire, played some awesome music the whole night. Mostly electronic, associated with drugs music. And we sang at the guitar, and that's how it went until the morning. And it was really awesome, just in the nature, disturbing the nature with our noises. It was really fun.
Yeah. I like the idea of like a circle of humans as like it could get to the point of hundreds, like a circle of humans all like lying on their backs with their heads in a circle fashion, like that's some hippy dippy shit. But then just having like some really like ambient, no percussion type music playing. Yeah, maybe I say drums help.
Like
and then
Steve
just having
Roach?
this whole schematic thing, huh?
Have you heard of Steve Roach?
No, I should though. I suppose.
Steve Roach, he has music like ambient with no beats at all, and it just goes like. And you're in space, you know, and with synthesizers and all kinds of effects with no beats. Connor, you there?
Oh, yeah. You hear me?
Yes.
Hello there.
Hello there, nice to meet you.
Yes, Zachary
Nice
meets
to meet
Connor.
you.
Connor
Oh.
meets Zachary Winchester.
Howdy.
It is good to meet you.
It's good to meet you too.
Where do you hail from? Where do you live?
Oh, I'm living at the moment in Greece, in Crete, but I'm originally from Bournemouth in England. Hence my accent.
Tell us about the situation in Greece.
Well, more or less, I went and auditioned for Thompson Couples to play in like their hotels around Europe. They really liked me, and they put me in a duo with a girl called Cassie, who's a really awesome singer. And then we just been put in a 5-star hotel on the island of Crete, right next to the sea, and do like just 2 hours a day just performing. And free accommodation, free food. It's a pretty fun way, to be honest.
Sounds
Exactly.
pretty beautiful, man.
That's what you need to find, man. Only in USA or something.
Well, I don't really care where. I just care about the situation. But that is awesome. That is a thing. These things are possible, man. These things can be achieved. That sounds
Yeah, man.
like that's like a pretty gorgeous living situation.
Yeah, it's sick. But it's just I just followed what I love doing, and all the opportunities that arise, I just took them and did my best, and there we go, landed my dream job.
Right.
Shows, you put your mind to it, you can achieve anything, really.
So can you see the revolutions in Greece from the location where the 5-star hotels are placed?
Nah, here it's pretty quiet. It's quite nice.
Probably all the rich people stay there and it's far away from the civilians.
Yeah, true. It's a tourist place, that's where I am. Very fueled by England, Denmark and Germany and all that rich countries coming in, just flashing their cash.
Flashing the cash and liking your singing.
Leash in their feet.
Yeah, I like him singing, definitely. I've like some Danish people just like go, "Oh my god, you're absolutely amazing, we love your music." I was like, "Oh, thank you." Like my head is getting bigger and bigger. I was like, "Oh, it's nice though. It's nice having encouragement."
Be careful not to lose yourself, man, in that environment.
Yeah, very true.
Forgetting about the roots.
Yeah, man.
Getting
Gotta remember
lost.
the roots.
Fuck the roots, bro. I've always wanted to say to it like a really hippy dippy. First time I always wanted to say, fuck your path. Because they're always talking about like, my path. Fuck your path. Fuck your path. Fuck your journey. Fuck your...
You have the antichrist, or you have the anti-hippie.
Fuck your aura, bro.
Fuck your aura. Can you say that joke with the glass of water and the fluoride?
Yeah.
You remember it?
Need to get a fucking job.
But that's just the ending. No one will get it.
He's referring to it, a little stand-up bit that I have where I explain to the crowd how I haven't drinking any fluoridated water in 3 years. And so my pineal gland is completely cleared, as where yours are all calcified and you live in total darkness and you can't perceive the true nature of the fractal, multi-dimensional universe, So I'm going to demonstrate for you now, the effects of consuming fluoride in your drinking water. This is from the tap, and then I take a sip of water and I go, I need to get a fucking job. And then everybody chuckles or feels offended, and both are good. Both are good. I'm getting a lot more comfortable with the idea that you should always either intrigue or offend, or both. But the real failure is to have people be unmoved by the things that you're doing. But offending people is good. Offending needs to be done. Offending makes people, it forces them to think about something.
Or they're just like completely against their beliefs and they like justify the way they're thinking. That's what people do.
They'll just get mad and
They just
say,
get mad, yeah.
Zach, you ruined my dreams.
Yeah.
I'm going to retreat.
Dude, so many hippies need to have their dreams ruined now. Because they'd be very effective people if they could just get it in their heads the idea that you can make use of both dimensions of the fractal, both aspects of dark and light. Because no matter how much you talk about love, light, and beauty and whatnot, there's still like children getting blown up by drones, as we discussed earlier, and people being sprayed with high pressure water hoses in Turkey. And there's things that demand confrontation. They don't necessarily demand violence, and that's a good debate to have. I had that debate on the Spacebook earlier today. Because there's always somebody who will say like, man, I'm cleaning out my AR-15 and I'm getting ready for the revolution to pop off in America. I'm going to kill as many of those motherfuckers. It's like, what the fuck does that do, man? That's retarded. That's retarded. To think that you're going to fucking have a violent uprising in this day. Like, the government has achieved. It's not just out of fear and out of like, it's not just a hopeless thing. It's actually ineffective. That's what they would love. There are those who are really more excited about a violent uprising in America than those who would be trying to revolt would be. Like that's the perfect scenario for them because now they're justified in killing or imprisoning you. I think that shit has become obsolete. Like taking up arms against a government that is now employing your brothers and neighbors to shoot at you. It's retarded. Like, who would you be killing? You'd be killing armed goons and people that otherwise would be on your side if they could just have it explained to them. But no, they need a paycheck, so that they've been indoctrinated and institutionalized to think that they should be shooting you. It's retarded. It's stupid. You don't have the choice of violence anymore. It just doesn't work anymore. I think that's just my.
Well, they want order out of chaos anyway, so it just. Even with the peace rallies, they always get a couple of guys in there and then try and stir it up to turn it into violence, and then they can take control of it and stop it. I've seen that quite a lot.
As long as you're not violent, they look like assholes when they're beating you down. Have you ever been present for any? Is there what was the? How are things in Greece right now? Like I know about how it's been over the last couple of years, but is it calmed down or is it at its peak of chaos?
Well, the thing is, I'm on Crete, and an island that's very fueled by tourism, so I don't see any of the action, so to speak. And none of the Greek people here kind of talk to me about it. And the majority of people who work in the hotel aren't Greek; they're like Romanian. Yeah, they are. They're all Romanians. It's like, and there's like Italian guy, but the majority is Romanian, and there's a very few handful of Greek people. And they don't really talk about the economics to me, so I never really ask either. So, can't really give you any information on that. Sorry.
Fucking Romanians everywhere.
Yeah. I feel sorry for them though, because they got like a really hard job. Well, not hard, no, they put a lot of work and effort into their job, and I get paid 3 times as much as them to do, 1/5 of the work. And I just sit down and do my music and enjoy myself, and they're putting blood, sweat and tears into their job, and they get paid jack shit.
Maybe you can make their lives better by composing some songs, I don't know.
Yeah.
They like.
Don't worry, your job will come better someday.
You need to go to England, where there are better wages.
Yeah, they always ask me, how much do you get paid? I'm like, I'm not telling you, mate. You probably all come up and gang up on me.
Do they like your, your style of music? Because most Romanians like gypsy music and.
I heard about that. They were telling me about the gypsy music. They said they don't like it.
So there are more quality Romanians there.
Yeah, I think they're more quality Romanians. They really like my music. Yeah, they're always suggesting the songs I should play and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, no, they love it.
Nice.
It's good.
Very nice. Very nice. High five.
Very nice.
It's a
A
very nice.
salamander.
Maybe one a day I can come and we can make a nicer duet. I can do electronic and do and then we get Zach and we get paid more.
Oh, that's happening one of these days. There's gonna be there will be a tour.
Yes.
It seems out of sight now, but I mean things tend to happen. Good things that I mean, like how much things have progressed in a year. I have no doubt in my mind that we shall tour this planet,
Yes.
doing musical and silly and ridiculous things. It's all sorts of stuff. You know what's really like appeals to my being an animal? Like I'm looking at pictures of Turkey in the protest, and there's a really pretty girl. And she's what I'm focused on, even though there's all this chaos and all this. There's a really pretty girl. I'm like, oh, she's politically aware and she's hot.
Share the picture.
So we can see.
It's not really an outstanding, one of the more outstanding of the photos. It's this whole album of awesomeness, I suppose. I think things could be done a lot smarter and more effectively, though, as we get better at unifying and galvanizing people to form up, to squad up and get shit done in a more. What we need to do is Illuminati back. You know, imagine like a million citizens coming together and meeting over the course of a year to try to democratically figure out like what would be the coolest, most effective thing that we could do. The most enjoyable, the least dangerous, the most effective. Like I think we could do some awesome shit. Like here in America, it would be so easy. Like especially with something easy like marijuana. The cannabis legality of cannabinoids and whatnot. We could just fucking have a mass, like just meet and smoke out on the steps of the Washington Monument or something. Just something that would be so obnoxious that would have to be televised, and just too many people for it to be ignored. And have a whole game plan, like have a whole thing to be obnoxious and do stuff like that. I think that because at the end of the day, it's all about press. Like from here, the only thing that is affecting us here in America by Turkey, not saying that that's like their goal or anything like America is the hub of fucking relevance. It's actually quite the opposite these days. Is what we see. Like what of this is interesting enough that we could see? And like some of these pictures are so compelling, it makes me want to fucking go Goldberg on somebody. Are you familiar with Goldberg? The spear, the jackhammer?
Goldberg, I remember him from some sort of comedy movie made in the United States.
Was it about wrestling, or are you talking about Mighty Ducks?
Or it was a Swedish Goldfinger guy
Okay.
with the golden penis. The word which you don't like.
That is Goldfinger. Or
Would you like to say, yeah.
Goldberg. Anyway, this completely
Yeah, so
off
he
subject.
has a big fucking golden dick, and he fucks bitches with the golden dick.
There's a saying amongst the Christy folk here in America. What would Jesus do? I would like to ask you both individually, beginning with Connor. Who would Jesus dose?
Dose.
If Jesus could give someone psychotropic drugs without their permission, who would Jesus dose?
Well,
Anyone in the world.
Who would Jesus dose with drugs in anyone in the world? What, living or dead, like in the past or what?
Right now, to make
Right
them,
now.
obviously Jesus is trying to make the most of his dosing.
Yeah.
So, but
So what
you can
has
say
he-
which one, dude.
Okay, I don't know. That's quite a good question. Probably, I would say some seriously good. No, I don't know. I've got to think about this one.
Okay. World leaders.
Yeah, that's what came to my head, but that was too cliche to say, really.
Yes.
Well, I think it would be Obama just because everybody's got his eyes on him, and he could actually articulate his mindfuck experience. You know.
Yeah.
Like, imagine him being like, well, everyone, you have to understand that the multi-dimensional nature of the fractal universe is, pretty much here's it. We compartmentalize the multiverse. It's a linguistic symptom. You understand? Because I have to say words to you. But some things, my friends, are un-Englishable. And you just have to understand that you are something that the entire universe is doing. So, weed's legal.
Yeah. Yes. That would be very funny. I would see that in an Onion News movie. Have you seen the Onion News, the movie?
Damn.
Yes, it's like a satire, 1 hour or 2 hours of satire about, life in USA, just all aspects of it. And it's very funny. It's like Idiocracy, if you've seen that movie.
Yeah, I enjoy what it's getting at, but I think it fucking sucks. To be honest. I'm one of very few people who think it fucking sucks, but I think Idiocracy sucks. I think there's a line of, there's a thing called brilliantly stupid and there's a thing called just fucking stupid. And I think that movie was just fucking stupid. Except for Beef Supreme. Beef Supreme was hilarious.
I don't know. I think the movie worked and it proved the point. It made its point.
I think it makes its point, but it didn't entertain me as much as it would have if it would have had some like funnier dialogue.
Well, you're a pro comedian, so of course it's not really.
Yeah, but I laugh at retarded shit, man. I laugh at some really, really stupid stuff quite often. In fact, I prefer dumb shit. Like I love silliness. I love just noises. I laugh harder at like just silly noises that people make with their faces. My God. I have a friend who speaks in 80% gibberish. It's very, very rare that he'll make actual words. And when he does, he'll say something like, "My grandpa is the illest motherfucker in your basement, and your niece so ugly she can rot in hell." And like just shit like that all day. And he'll say it with enthusiasm and conviction. And it's fucking great. But other time, when he tries to be serious, you just have to tune him out 'cause it's stupid.
I've got to hit the sack. I'm really tired. But it was lovely chatting to you guys, and definitely join in the next conversation if I'm around.
Yes. Enjoy your lovely, lovely existence in this wonderful situation that you've described for us. That sounds really beautiful. I hope you enjoy.
It's that followed the path, man.
Fuck your path, bro.
Well, my path led me to my dream, man. Funny. Anyway, have a good one, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Oh yeah, Zach, add me on Skype as well.
Oh, shall be done right now.
Nice one. I'll catch you in a bizzle. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
See you later, my friend.
See you.
I just
Enjoy.
closed the fucking... Right. Okay. So, things are going well in his island, in his, things. But he used to busk on the streets, man. Like, that is what he used to do.
That's something I've always wanted to do. That takes guts, man. That is a fiercely brave thing to do, to go out there. I'm going to sit here and do my thing, and if anybody wants, and that's great.
Yeah. But in England, there are people who can make a living out of that, if they are talented enough. And this guy is very good, actually. That's why he got picked up, and now he's in a 5-star hotel. Busking. I might go do that in Australia. I've got an invitation to stay there at some place and just do music and sing in bars, busk. It will be very fun. Because out here in Romania, if you go and busk, people don't have money anyway because they are, they only have money for survival. It's like in those African songs where they say, "Fighting for survival," like that type of thing. And that's the same in Romania. So if you busk here, people might appreciate what you sing, but they won't give you any money because they don't have any money. So the only solution is to go into a Western country that still has decent economics, or go over the ocean, or I don't know.
Let's go to the ocean, bro.
Yes. I can't go into the United States, though, because I need some sort of visa to go there.
We'll work that out in the future. These are things that will happen. You know what? The conclusion that I've come to is I need to stop bitching about how, the monetary system is unfair and it's so arbitrary and oh my god, I don't have the money to do the things I need to do. And I just need to stop being a bitch and just do what I can to get the Federal Reserve notes in the most ethical way that I possibly can. And this may take fucking years. And I know how it's going to go down, actually. I pretty much know. I don't like to make, assumptions and slash predictions about the future, because then I get these weirdos who think you're connected to you're a part of the interconnectivity of the multiverse, bro. Tell me about the things, and that's bullshit because I'm really just a fucking layman idiot. But anyway, there is one thing about the future that I do know, and that is that after years of laboring to try to figure out how I'm going to create the funnel that will make the paper and the cheddar come and flow, as we say. That's some slang for accruing monetary resources here in Metro Detroit, Michigan. It's going to be very difficult, and it may take years. But just when I figured out how to do it, and we've created the infrastructure with my company that does exist. We're doing a little company thing. I don't want to go into that though, because that's some fucking monetary, boring, vapid bullshit. But anyway, once we have everything, and we've labored very hard to get to the point where we can make money without going against our morals or socio-political manifesto. And once we've done all that and labored so hard, and it may be 3 years from now, then suddenly there's going to be some really wealthy person who's going to appear and say, Zach, you never have to worry about money again. Just be creative for the rest of your life. I support what you're doing, and the funding will always be there. I see this happening. There's people who have already teased it. Some Brazilian royalty gave me some message saying like you're not ready yet, but I could fund you. And it was what the fuck? Don't tell me that. He said your aura contains divinity, but you're not. I sense that you need to be given more time to perfect your craft. And then, but anyway, I've always had this feeling that there will be a funder will come. There'll be someone who doesn't have something that they're doing themselves with their current biological vessel. Somebody probably, over the hill who's settling down with their life. And these people exist everywhere, but they have limitless funds, pretty much. And they just go on Kickstarter all day, and they just look for something that they believe in, that they want to throw energy at, because they want to still be a part of something, even though they're not doing much with their particular vessel anymore, other than just, maintaining their fortune wherever the fuck. And I have no doubt that one day there will be someone who wants to help a magical turtle out, and then things will get really intergalactic after that. And things like getting you to America to do a tour, and things like being able, whatever the fuck. There's so many things that I perceive myself as not being able to afford now, like travel. I can't go anywhere. I don't have the funding to go anywhere. But all those things will be resolved, and then we'll get intergalactic as fuck. But anyway, drugs.
Yes. You need a sponsor for drugs.
Yeah, I mean, that would be great. That would be, what would be really fantastic in the future is to have, to hold a festival where it was a really, really serious search happened in the entrance, that the proprietors of the festival are the only ones who are going to have the substances, so that we're all on the absolute same wavelength. And then we're going to do a crazy shamanic, very intentional, both with words and the mouth speak, and just with sounds and sights. We're going to blow your brains up, and then you're going to leave as all individual cells in carrying on the mission of love and laughter. I've almost deleted. I used to say truth, love, and laughter. I'm almost ready to delete truth, because I don't know how to define that anymore. And I know that that's the most fucking
truth
that's the most cliche.
Truth equals nonsense, my friend. You found the fucking solution in your songs. Truth equals nonsense.
Love, laughter, and nonsense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love, laughter, and nonsense.
That is what.
But truth is nonsense, because the truth of everything is that it's nonsense. And it's how I feel. So, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
No.
Yo.
No.
Yo. Do you see the palindrome radio show we just had? It began with yeah, and so shall it end. Yeah.
Nah.
I'm not really sure what I'm doing with this whole human enterprise, yo. Not really sure what's going on, but I'm trying my best.
Human Enterprise.
Yeah.
Why is it?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What's going on, man?
Dude, that is, I've been trying to figure that out for fucking a solid, I would say 24 years, but really my first 10 years of life, I was just kind of drooling on myself and being spoon-fed goop. So now, I would say I've had at least a decade of contemplating my own existence. And, I don't know what the fuck is going on, man. It's cool though. I'm not complaining at all. I think it's all fucking, this is great.
I think it's great too. And I think that people must learn how to see the greatness inside themselves and shit like that. But people are not responding in the fucking Skype, which is weird.
They need to be set ablaze. No.
Yes, Mortus in the chat room says that, Vosto, you are smoking too much. No, I'm not smoking right now, but I did smoke days ago, and it was great. This is just my natural state of being.
I smoke herb grass quite a bit. I haven't smoked any herb grass today. When I smoke herb grass, I become a lot more likely to just take in media instead of create it. I say a lot less and I listen a little bit more. That's not always true. But I've found it took me years to figure this out. But herb grass for me is best for the watching of movies, the enjoying of music, the enjoying of performances, and sometimes the creation of my own. But really, as lovely as cannabis is, and as much as I endorse it as a thing, it contributes to my laziness, to be completely honest. Being high all the time does not make me a good person.
All the time is not recommended. The recommended, thing is, out of 7 days, 3 days, or less, something that does not go past the numbers of days that are in a week.
Who's recommending this?
Well, my friend
Who is the doctor
Stoner,
that is recommending?
My Stoner friend, which is smoking for many, many years, and he noticed that this is the right theory, because if he smokes too much, he gets too numb to even, do something practical. And if he smokes 3 days that are not one after the other, 3 random days in the week, it works much more better for him, and it actually improves his creativity, or something like that, he told me. And during the time that I was with my friend, I experienced the same thing as him, and it was very good and intense. We didn't do any psychotropical shit, though.
Psychotropical. Oh, that's dope. I'm using that in something. Psychotropical.
It's like some sort of climate.
For 3 days.
It's like a climate, when you say it's continental temperate. Or, you can say the climate is psychotropical.
Yes. No, it's psychotropical where I live right now. Here's something really, really weird and vain. This is a really vain thing, but this is true about me and my brain right now. I have no obligation to tell anybody about this, but I will. It's very psychotropical where I'm living right now. It is the spring becoming summer. It's very, very, the bugs have not kicked in yet. The woods is not fucking absolutely overrun with insects yet. So it's the best time to do psychedelics. It's lovely weather for it, and there aren't these crazy arachnids everywhere and these flying demon beasts who just want to burrow in your flesh and fuck you to death. Anyway, it's nice. It's nice weather for psychedelics. And I've been postponing my woodland journey because I'm due for a mushroom trip. I'm very much due for one. It's been very close to a year, if not more, and I've been putting it off for far too long. Like Lord of the Rings, I put this off for far too long. it's time. It's time that I go and evaluate myself and my situation, i.e. the universe/multiverse. It's time that I evaluate things, and that tends to really help with that. And the reason I'm not is because I have stupid tattoos on my left shin that I need to have corrected because I look at it and I get neurotic about the terrible feng shui. I have a stupid cover up that I got done because I went and got this like a stupid one from a girl that I like had a mild crush on at the time, who was doing them for $20 because she was apprenticing. And so I got a stupid tattoo and then got that covered up with something even stupider. And now I'm waiting. This Tuesday I'm going to get it corrected. And I just know that if I were to trip on mushrooms and look down at my leg and be like, I'm an idiot. I got permanent pictures of stupid on my leg. I'm an idiot. And that would I'm not saying that would corrupt the entire trip, but I don't want to have that thought with my mind that open of like, oh my God, dude, you had one chance, that you're aware of to be in a biological vessel and you went and drew stupid shit on it. You fucking idiot. And then I would have a whole existential breakdown for a moment. I'd come out of it. And
But do you mean like correct it, remove it, or add something?
No, just put more stupid shit that add feng shui.
Yes, put more stupid shit that in the future you will say the same thing about that, and you would want it corrected again.
Hearted nonsense, man. I'm on the journey but by the time I'm 30, I'm gonna have dumb shit all over me, and it's good because it forces me to stay silly. It forces me to not really respect myself as an intellectual, because I am quite a layman when I'm honest with myself. I am actually quite. I am not. There's folks who think that I have somewhat of an advanced vocabulary, but really I'm relatively worthless in linguistics and anything. There are bigger fish out there, and it's humbling, and it actually makes me more productive.
Let's end the show, man.
I'm a layperson. Yo, let's end the show. This has been Summoning the Nonsense. Yo. Enjoy.
Interesting.
Less press mobility, no more offices. The world as a workspace. This is what you face. It's what is inside of me. No one can You are immigrant to the second world, a stranger to its custom.